Hi there. Okay, last rescue kitty story for a while. Probably more animals that were rescued, but I'm just going to tell you about um, a little cat that I rescued in Ecuador when we lived there for almost a year. And in Ecuador, there are lots of stray cats, lots of stray dogs everywhere. And it's really pretty heart-wrenching. And it's actually one of the reasons why I came home. I just couldn't take all the homeless animals and I could not save them all. Um, so we were living there, and we were living up in Conocoto, which is a town to the north of the capital of Quito, up in the mountains. And I wanted to go down to the ocean. I wanted to be close to the ocean. I'm a California girl, and I just thought it would be most lovely to be close to the ocean. So we lived in Conocoto for a couple, 3 months, and then we moved. I hired a guy to take our things and us and drive us down to the coast, which was not that far by plane, but in a car, it's like a 10 or 12 hour drive. So, and we drove overnight because my grandson tended to be car sick, and we thought that would be easier on him. So I'm looking, a very sweet friend of mine named Myra, who I met. She lived in Salinas at the time, which is where I thought I would like to go. And Myra graciously helped because she'd been a real estate agent in the United States, and also speaks Spanish fluently. And so she was invaluable in helping us to find a house to rent. And in the course of that, there's several expat websites that so Americans can connect with one another. And on one of them, there was a lady that my friend Myra knew, named Terry, and she was fostering this cute little black and white kitten. And the story of the kitten was that a man that was basically on the street and drank all the time, just kind of one of the town drunks, and he heard a little meow, and he looked in the trash, and there were, I think, 3 or 4 little tiny kittens, like not even 6 weeks old. And only one of them was still alive, and that was this little cat who I eventually named Mira. And so the man found the kitten, gave the kitten to this lady named Lana, who was a pastor's wife, and Terry was part of the church, and Terry agreed to foster the kitten, and she loved her. But Terry likes to travel a lot, still does, and she since moved back up to the States. So she posted on one of the expat pages that she had this kitten, and nobody was coming forward and saying that they wanted this kitten. And I thought, well, I really want to rescue an animal, and I can't really rescue a dog because we brought 3 of our dogs with us, and I had a cat who I thought maybe if I got a kitten that she would become a mama cat to this kitten. And I thought that might be interesting for her, and the kitten would have a mama, and that was my glorious idea anyway. So Terry, I told her that I wanted to adopt the cat, but then there was something where I had to be down there within a week or something, and I was going down to look at properties to rent anyway. So I said that I would be there at a certain time, and so I flew down from Quito to look at real estate properties and also pick up this kitten, which I did. And then I had to bring the kitten back to Quito, and then and to Conocoto, where we were living, and then we brought her back down to Salinas with us when we came. And she was a very tiny black and white kitten, very sweet. And since she was so tiny, and she was also a feral kitten, and so again, she's never really lost the feral qualities completely. And so I brought her back to Konokoto, and my daughter and grandson fell in love with her, and me too, of course. And so then we had her in Salinas, and so here's a picture of her that I took when she was still very small, but a little bit bigger kitten, on the staircase leading up to, I rented a house there in a gated community for $650, by the way. And then also here's a picture of the house so you can see what that looked like. It was a big 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. 3-bath house. And in Ecuador, they make everything out of concrete of some description. So this was a concrete block house and had concrete tile floors and whatever. And we lived there for the rest of the time that we were in Ecuador. And then we decided that we were going to come back. And so we loaded up the 3 dogs and now the 2 cats eventually when we decided to leave, and we came back to the United States. And then I bought the house that I'm living in now, and my daughter and grandson were here, and then they moved out, and so now I'm here and I have this little house in Ohio. And then my daughter and grandson came to me at one point and said, can we have Mira? We love Mira, and we don't have any pets right now, and we would love to take her. And I decided it was best for Mira that we do that, because it turns out that my little cat Spirit, who I told you about in a prior video, she wasn't a mothering kind of cat, and she really wasn't very nice to Mira. So I thought that it was much better situation for Mira that she go live with my daughter and grandson, even though I didn't really want to let her go, but I felt like it was the best thing for her. So she went to live with them, and she is still with them, and I go see her, and of course she knows me and remembers me. And also there's a picture of her that we have when she's full grown. She's laying on the lap of Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls, which I'll put here for you. She is the tiniest little thing. She is about half the size of a normal American cat. And she has a little head and short tail and short little legs and kind of a big body. And she's just this little black and white, just this little compilation cat, and still very feral, and won't come out when there are people there she doesn't know, and just like Gigi is. So anyway, very sweet little girl, and I'm very glad that we got to save her and bring her back to the States when we decided to do that. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you for the next video. Probably maybe we'll tell you about our trip down when we decided to move to Ecuador, which had been a plan for a long time. So see you on the next one. God bless.